Let's see what we're going.
All right. Got Mr. Luke Yancey on the podcast, Go To Him podcast. That's what we live by around here. It is approximately 3:25. Gates open at 5:30, so we are back here on the other side of the arena, getting our little podcast in. I mean, we had a good night of bull riding last night over here.
Very good.
Yeah.
Kind of started off slow, but the guys started to pick it up and kind of feed off each other and started to ride a little bit more, and it turned out to be a pretty good one. Tonight should be much better. Everybody's fired up, ready to go. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's the first time me and Luke have worked together too. And I felt really comfortable. I don't think me and you had any.
No, we fed off each other well.
Yeah,
it was good. It's always good when you can step in with somebody that new and understand the game, understand that we had the same mindset towards it, and picking each other up. We talked a lot, communicated well. It was good. It was good. I was very, very. I said it was an honor at the end. I meant every word of it, so it was good. So.
I really appreciate it, and it goes back the other way for you too. And that's one thing just Lloyd talked about to me. He said he wouldn't ever want to match anybody up, his bullfighters that he didn't think would work well together. So he hired both of us. He had it in mind that me and you would come together and fight good together. But getting into it here, where you been at lately?
Well, lately, 6 weeks of recovery on a MCL sprain. So I got that taken care of PT-wise. Been working out a lot, trying to keep my mind right, stay in the faith a little bit, and came back strong last night. So just glad to be back. Before that, I was pretty much everywhere. Had a busy schedule going to Fort Worth. Got approved for my PBR card this year, thank God. So I got a couple PBRs and just trying to stay busy and keep going at them.
Yeah, I heard that. Same thing for me. Y'all saw, I did that podcast last weekend with Dalton and Michael, episode number 2 on Spotify, I think, or one. Yeah, I think that was my second one on Spotify. So pretty cool deal there. But I guess getting into it a little more, if you just wanted to get into your backstory on how you did everything, how you got started in rodeo and growing up.
Shoot. Well, I usually give the short version of this, but since we're on this, I might as well tell it all. So it was kind of random, not really random how I got into it, but definitely God's calling on my life. So I grew up around rodeo. My dad was a professional rodeo announcer in the PRCA. I went to the Dixie National every year. Watched that, got to go in the buck and shoots and act like I was a bull rider, whatnot. I always loved bullfighting, bull riding, just never thought I'd get into it. So I started on other sports, focused on them, football, baseball. Was blessed to play 4 years of college baseball, 2 at a JUCO and 2 at a D2. Graduated with a kinesiology degree, wanted to be a physical therapist, but as many people do, you can't expect a 20-year-old, 21-year-old to know what he's going to do for the rest of his life. So after college, I kind of just went through I don't want to say depression because I just feel like that's a lack of Christ. I think it was more of just trying to find my purpose in life. So I started praying a lot and went to job hop around. Worked at Academy Sports, worked at a garden and gift center, just driving the tractor, moving sod around for people. Just had that fire in me to help people and just didn't know how. So I just started praying for a purpose, and it was 3 years later, or right at 2.5 actually. So it was July of 2021. I started praying a lot, and the Lord showed me the PBR one day, and I just knew it was Him because I haven't watched the PBR in 10 years. Dad was retired when I was in high school, so I was never around it anymore, But I watched the PBR, saw them guys do what they do, and I was like, man, this is, I just felt that overwhelming sense of purpose, And I started DMing Weston Rudkowski, probably annoying the crap out of him, and got in his bull school in Cody, Wyoming in July of 2021. He said he would not put me in front of a bull until I'm ready. So we went through the fundamentals of everything. And for those of you that don't know, bull school is a 3-day, 4-day fundamental camp. You're learning how to move around the cattle. You'll work the barrel, you'll work what we call a hook and dummy, which is like a one wheelbarrow kind of thing. They put a calf head out.
It's like a bicycle, or sometimes it's made with PVC, all types of different stuff.
So anyways, you learn how to do all that stuff, and then if you're ready, they'll put you out in front of cattle. So,
well, about that time frame, how old were you?
I was 26.
So you were?
I was 26. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got held back in the 8th grade, so I was 1 year older than the rest of those guys in college. So yeah, I graduated in 2019. I was probably 23, 24. Yeah, 24. So yeah, anyways, went to the bull school, did pretty well with the fundamentals and everything, picked up on it well. I watched a lot of videos beforehand. You know, I wanted to know as much as I could before going in, because I was about as green as you can be going into that thing. And Weston walked up to me and he said, "I think you're ready, so we're gonna do this." Had my horrible shaped cowboy hat, had a flannel on in the middle of summer, had some practice shorts from baseball on, did not look the part at all, and fought my first bull at the Cody Night Rodeo that night, and just fell in love with it. Since then, I went to John Roberts School that October, and went to a couple practice pens here and there. Really tried to hone in on the craft that I knew, and my first rodeo was in October of 2021, and since then I've been very blessed with opportunities, and just kind of making the most of what comes my way. You know, it's all God's timing. We all have goals and aspirations in this sport, and you want to be the best, but it's a good reminder to always tell yourself it's not your timing, it's His. So it's something I've been trying to keep in the back of my head is, you know, it's not me, it's all Him, and whatever comes my way, it's meant to be. So that's a little bit about my backstory. So
I guess we can lead right off that, and you know, you talking about you've only, let's say, got your start in 2021. Fresh start.
Fresh start.
Fresh start. Like any cattle before that?
Nope. No cattle.
Absolutely nothing.
I had my blue healer wrap me around a laundry hamper when I was younger, but that was about the only round
you got. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can lead right into that. It's just a good thing to talk about. I know, but you've done some big stuff, gone to some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been pretty cool to be around it. But yeah, so I guess you're about to ask what I've been to. So I got involved with the BFO through Weston. So I started out with the UBF. I went to a UBF camp in 2022. Was blessed enough to get the MVP there. Kind of, you know, when you have like small little full circle moments in this sport, like that'll like keep on reminding you. I call it God, but
yeah,
you know, it keeps reminding you that you're in the right spot where you're supposed to be. So getting the MVP there, I was like, man, I really think I could do this, because like going out of your comfort zone and fighting mechs versus fighting bucking bulls, it's completely different. You know, they move the same, but it's still completely different. So it's fighting one of those and the camp, getting the MVP there, it just kind of boosted my confidence a little bit, realized that I could do this. So right after that, I was scheduled for a BFOD camp. I think the UBF camp was in April, and then the BFO was in May. So I went to the one in May of the BFO, and I think I got second if we were basing it off of who won MVP and who was second in line. So I got second there, and then I got invited to Sykeston that year. So I went to...
This is in 2022?
Sorry, 2022, I got invited to somewhere in Georgia. I can't remember, maybe Dublin or somewhere like that. It was a UBF, but I completely sucked.
Was it pipe fence?
I don't know.
Like in the middle of nowhere?
It was under a covered arena like this.
I think I was in Dublin.
Dublin? Okay,
Yeah.
So anyways, regardless of where it was, I went to a UBF that year in 2022. Did horrible. Yeah, I think I had like a 76 or something like that. Obviously didn't make the short round. Didn't feel down about myself because that was my first max, other than the camps. And in 2023, I got invited to Sykeston from Weston, and that was my first BFO. So I went to that. My first bull there was not good. I guess it was the crowd, the nervousness, all that stuff. I mean, there's 15,000 people there every single night surrounding you like a baseball park, you know. I think it is a baseball field, actually, the arena. So it's they're surrounding you all around. It's, you know, it's It's hectic if you don't control your mind, and I didn't really know how to control my mind. And came out, bull started railing on me, tried to pick him up. Picked him up a couple times. Each time he was breaking down a little bit more. And when he finally broke down, I kind of panicked. I didn't know what to do. And he ran me up into a fence. My head went through the fence, and I was butt to him. And he let me go. He could have gave me a suppository, but he didn't. And he let me go. And after that, I fought him the remainder of the fight, and I got hooked again, broke a rib. The next night, got some advice from Chuck and Cody and all these guys there, and the next night I just kind of just gave it to God, and I was like, just react, you know, and ended up winning that round and won second overall there in Sykeston. Wow. So it was a good turnaround there. That led me into winning enough points to go to Vegas for my first year for the World Finals. So went to Vegas, had a really good first round, 88.5, I think. Just started building up my confidence and stuff. That year, I really wasn't, I'll back up a little bit. I've never really had goals in freestyle space. My goals freestyling is just, if I can get around one of those things confidently, control my mind, you know, get around them smooth, then I know I can handle any bucking bull that comes my way. And I feel called to protect bull riders, so that's why I'm doing protection anyways. But the reason
your craft.
Exactly. So it's the reason I freestyle is not to win a world, you know. I'm still going to take it serious, and I'm there to win, don't get me wrong. But I'm okay if I don't, because my goals are somewhere else.
100%.
So it's when I went to Vegas, I didn't have, you know, I was the underdog. Went there, nobody knew me, all this stuff. So I just kind of got to relax, you know, and did well there. Made it to the championship Saturday. Didn't end up winning, obviously, but I think Luke Ballard won that year. And yeah, it was a bunch of good bullfighting, a bunch of good experience. Getting my name out there in a little bit, and
take
then
home a little bit of money.
Yeah, take home a little bit of money, and that was the most money I've ever had in my life, and didn't know what to do with it. So, anyways, fast forward to 2024. I started off the year hot with the Columbiana bull riding, Columbiana, Alabama. Ryan Davis puts on, great event. Been there 3 times. I'll go there next year for my 4th year. Great way to start off the year. And then I went to a Bulls, Bands, and Barrels in Jacksonville, Florida. And I ended up flipping over a bull in a freestyle.
Really?
And I tore my MCL, grade 3, completely torn. So I had to get surgery there. So I was out for the majority of the summer. Came back quick, but still majority of what I had. I had a lot of stuff booked rodeos-wise, and that to me was still, I never doubted God. You know, it was like we talked about faith a lot, me and you, and a lot of my other buddies, and going through that experience, just keeping the faith through that was.
I think something like that, I don't mean to cut you off or anything, but I think something like that is extremely humbling.
It is.
Because you can be making all the progress in the world. I'll relate that back to me at the beginning of this year. First rodeo back, knee problems. I dealt with a little bit towards the last few rodeos last year. Mm-hmm. And then this year to come back when I thought I felt fresh, good, clean slate with my injuries after 2 to 3 months off in the off season, besides like going to the practice pen and everything, just kind of relaxing, going out in the yard with the dummy, just drilling. Felt good. And then to come back first rodeo back and felt like I was kind of taking it for granted. And it was one of them things where I always relate back to my injuries and stuff. It's one of those things where God shows you it's on His timing.
Just how quickly He can take it away.
Yeah, just exactly. But it's like, you know, something like that, it's like I think so many people get caught up in the progress that they're making and how fast they are moving up in the world and getting rodeos. I had a really good schedule last year. Started out with a really good schedule this year, and I was able to not drop any rodeos, but it was something that I had to take extremely serious when that happened, and to continue through those next few rodeos. And thankfully it worked out, because I think I had another rodeo the next weekend, but I rehabbed strong through that week, and then I think I had the next weekend off. Yep. And so it was just a really good time to sit down and really think about why I'm here and who lets me be able to be here, which is the man upstairs.
And it's not necessarily you're doing anything wrong, but it's like he's already gotten written it out. If you were supposed to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. Like you can't beat that, you know. So it all happens for a reason, and you know, injuries happen. It's part of the risk we know we're taking each time we step in, and but yeah, just going through that whole thing with this PT was great. The PT never stopped me from doing what I love to do. You know, we were always working to get there. He never held me back, but we had a really good communication towards that, and got back from there. And then another small, you know, full circle moment, how I knew I was, you know, right where I was supposed to be, God's timing and everything. I came back, and before I got hurt, I was I applied for my card, my PRCA card, before I got hurt, and I had Rodeo scheduled to get watched, scouted.
Yeah, you're 5. So the way that works, I guess we'll go into that for just a minute. So he applied for his permit. You obviously have to get approved for that, and then when you are approved for that, you have to have some people sign for you to get approved, correct? And then you have to get 5 rodeos where they come watch you and basically critique you and see how you fight.
It's pretty much a scout for any other sport.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to get watched for 5 rodeos, and then if you're good enough, they give you your card, and if you're not, well, you're not. Yeah. So
and you know where you stand and stuff. So, but yeah, I applied for it, and then obviously had to take a step back and recover from the injury, and kept on communicating with them, giving them rodeos that I will be doing when I get back. And I was in Jackson, Mississippi, in the Coliseum where they do the Dixie National, and we had a big IPRA there, and Greek Ellick was there, and I didn't know he was coming. It was just one of the rodeos I gave him to come and watch, and that first rodeo back, I was feeling confident, went in there, made a good save. Greek walked over to me and said, "Welcome to the PRCA," and that was it. So it's like,
wow.
It was just one of those things that was humbling in itself, you know. It was just one of those full circle moments. Like, I just thank God immediately, because I just knew it was just
100%.
You know, like, so I'm extremely blessed there, and I don't take that for granted at all. Since then, you know, gotten some really cool opportunities to work some bulls, bends, and barrels, a lot all over the world or all over the country. Was sitting 4th before this injury this year, so I had to pull out of Pennsylvania. We talked about that the other day. So I don't think I'm going to make the finals anymore, which is okay. But just had some pretty cool opportunities. That's all they are. I mean, you can call them big stuff. They are big stuff, and I'm very blessed to get them, but they're just opportunities, and we still 100%. Have to go out there and do our job, you know. So, but that's about it. Just keep on rolling, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we're rolling pretty good here, and I just kind of want to keep it on the same topic, I guess. I know, and this is really something I haven't really brought up on the podcast before, but me and you talked about this previously. Like, I think we talked about it this morning. Just going back to a scripture that you relate to. Like, I know just from listening, Weston Rosowski did a podcast with Dale Brisby, and one of the things he said was, like you just mentioned earlier, everything that's bound to happen, God's already made happen. So if you're going to go out there, and he already has it in his plans that you're going to go in there and make that save and take that shot, that it's already in his hands, it's already played out, and you know, your body and your hands and your feet is already in his will, and it's already wrote out how it's going to go down, and the only thing you can really control is your attitude. Yep. So I know I have my scripture, John 15:13, which is
it's right here on my hat.
Yep. No greater love than a man lay his life down for his friends. Yep. So it's just, I think I say that. I write it on my tape every time I tape my wrists before a rodeo or a bull riding. And it's just something I go back to, and it's like, even though I may not know these guys personally, but they're all brothers through rodeo, and they're out there trying to do their job. And I don't think a bull rider should ever have to worry about how good the bullfighters are. Mm-hmm. I think they should be able to go out there and handle their own. But to be able to let them go out there and 100% do their job without a doubt in the back of their mind that they're going to be safe. And for me to go and be able to do what I need to do, that's a big one I go back to before every single perf. Just wondering if you had one.
Yeah, John 15:13, definitely one. There's one in Job. It talks about not shying away from the sword. I actually personally pray that every time we go out there, just not shying away from the sword. The verse says, he laughs at fear. He does not shy away from the sword. Pretty much, that's the gist of it. And what that's saying is just when things get hectic, when it gets overwhelming, what are you doing? Are you backing down, or are you going to it? So
The eye of the storm.
yeah,
What
so
are you doing?
it's definitely something I pray every time, just not shying away from that sword. You know, you're going to have, you know, your partner backing you up, and you know you're going out there doing your job to the best of you can. So
100%. And I guess basing back off that too, I think we can kick back and relax a little bit. But you know, we were also talking about this earlier with Laramie and John, or last night. Laramie's and John, his father, clowning it this weekend, this bull riding, and we were talking about because John used to fight bulls, and he was talking about, you know, when one of us gets hooked, it's like, oh, it's my turn now. Like, you want to go bust that bull down and take him for a couple rounds and just show him, like, yeah, you can hook me while I'm saving this guy, but I'm gonna come back and get you.
Yep.
Show you that you ain't gonna hook me just because you want to.
yeah,
I think that's a huge difference in guys. Some guys have that, some guys don't, and sometimes you're born with it, depending upon what sports you played growing up. And I feel like you can be teached into that, depending upon where you started and how much, I guess, love you have for the game. But that was just something we talked about that I like a lot.
it's something that's like, when I see, I've never been bothered by this, but when I get to fight with somebody that doesn't take it as serious or whatever, and they're just doing it as a hobby more than anything, rather than a full-time job, it's something that I'm not worried about, because those guys are going to get weeded out.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to last. And
They're going to stay exactly where they're at.
exactly. So it's to be in a arena with somebody that like-minded, that wants to be the best that you can be, have goals set, all these different things. It's just a different mindset going in, knowing that you have that person exactly where you are mindset-wise. You know?
100%.
Not goals related, just mindset-wise. Like, he's going to do everything he can in his power to be there for that guy. Step in the gap, roll through, let your partner pick him up, keep on rolling, work as a team. I mean, that's just art.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. When
It's
you see,
pretty
when you
to
see
watch.
guys like, you know, Tuck and Cody, or Tuck and Webb are some of the best people going up and down the road, obviously. When they work together, you can just see it. Like, you can just see the passion of the sport really shine through those guys, and they definitely love it. So I would like to think they're definitely inspirations for me to go out there, you know, having them in the back of my mind, you know, would they be okay with me fighting with them one day? You know, that's the kind of pursuit I'm after, is just fighting with those kind of caliber bullfighters. So it's
I think it's also something too, like Luke had a nice little gap shot last night, picked a bull up, got a little bumped up, and it's like,
felt good.
I think the first thing I said to him, told him a hell of a good shot, damn good bullfighting, and then I was like, it's my turn next, or with the next words out of my mouth, which I had one.
Had a black muley,
Yeah, little black muley, and if he would have had horns, I would have got some sky miles. Just picked him up, same thing. But, you know, he just grazed right by me, didn't get touched. And, you know, just watching Luke go in there, it's one of them when you can just feed off each other, especially at a bull riding like this when you're bucking 30 guys in the long round, and then you have
6 more, 7 more, something like that.
5+ in the short round. You have to be able to just feed off your partner, and so when you can go in and take a shot like that, and you're all good, and it's my turn, and you just feed off each other for the rest of the perf, and keeps you going motivated wise. And you know, like, it was hot yesterday,
very hot. I was wearing
humid
a cotton jersey, and it was sweating on my arms. I usually don't sweat that much, and I was feeling every single drop. It was hot yesterday. The rain did not help.
There was a point they had it scheduled out to where I think it was 3 to 5 minutes in between the 3 sections, and then we had 10 to 15 minutes in between the long round and short round. And I told Lloyd between the second and third section, I'm like, I'm about to soak up these last, or these 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Go sit down for just a minute, drink me a bottle of water, because it was extremely warm. I know when we got done with the perf and finally got to sat down and take everything off, I wrung my shirt out.
Yeah.
It looked like a wet
Sweating.
rag.
Yeah, exactly.
That you've been cleaning the floor with or something.
Wouldn't change it for the world, though.
Oh yeah, blessed every time.
Yeah.
Shoot.
But yeah, so I want to know something about you. I know you're the interviewer and everything. It's just your gig, but I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So,
100%.
how long you been fighting?
Gosh. Well, so.
Because this is the first time me meeting you.
Yeah.
You know, we've been following each
100%.
other for a while now, but first time me meeting you. I know what Ben says, but I can't trust Ben.
Ben has his own. I'm gonna get him on this podcast one time. I might have to strap him to a chair and make him do it.
Yeah.
But so Colby, he'll be here tonight. Me and him grew up together and everything, and me and him kind of got our start the same way with horses and everything, like I was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Our families were really close, pretty much, and me and Colby, pretty much. He's 2 years older than me. He actually just turned 21, but me and him were always really close growing up. I can't even remember the first time I've been to his house and hung out with him. But he texted me one random day. Me and him had kind of both got out of like the horse training type of thing. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you want to start riding bulls? And he grew up junior rodeo and I didn't, so he had already been on steers and stuff. And I think he just wanted to go back to the rodeo side of things. And I was like, yeah, 100%. Yep. And so me and him started junior rodeoing together, and then we never high school rodeoed or anything, because in our minds, high school rodeo is kind of a scam. It's kind of controversial. You have to have money to high school rodeo, to me, unless you're trying to gain sponsors or gain viewership. So me and him just started hitting PRCA rodeos. I think we went to a few of Bubba's, and then I want to say 2 or 3 open bull ridings, and got our asses handed to us. Yeah. But we just jumped right on out there. We won a few buckles junior rodeoing and the juniors and seniors, and so we knew it was our time to step up, get on something a little bit stouter and everything. And then he actually had this Brahman, Angus Brahman cross, little bull at his house that he went and bought, and we were trying to buck him. Well, he was kind of mean. I can't remember. He probably tore up 10 of them tractor supply panels, and we'd flatten them back out with the tractor or try to stick them back together, drill a hole in it, tie it back up with some hay string, and it was awful. But it was pretty much just a round pen. Well, one of the places he used to junior rodeo at, that they also put on horse shows and everything there, they had old bucking chutes in. We just rode by there one day for the hell of it, and I'm kind of getting off the deep end, but had some old square tube and bucking chutes, both left-hand delivery, welded together, and we called the city, and they had obviously been sitting there, the bottom rung had been rusted out and everything, and his mom called the city and was like, hey, how much do you want for these? We'll come pick them up today. And they were like, well, if you'll bring a tractor out there and a trailer and you can load them up, you can have them. And so, boy, that was news to me and him right there. So we took them to his house, but we were trying to buck that little bull at the house, and he was kind of mean. And so just out there playing around with him. I loved every aspect of bull riding, bullfighting. I think it's just cool to me. Really, all the rough stock into the arena. Yeah. I've always been fascinated with it, even growing up. And so I just started making rounds and stuff, and I think his mom actually took a video and posted it on Facebook. Well, at the time, me and him were going to Matt Baldwin's house and riding bulls, both of us. And Matt saw it on Facebook, I guess, from his mom posting it, was like, you want to fight bulls for real? And he was like, we got some you can step around, obviously. And I was like, you know what? I'll try it. I'll give it a go, because I kind of enjoyed it, just doing it at the house for the hell of it, messing around. Because when Colby would ride at the house, whether it was heifers or anything, I would fight. He would vice versa, pull the rope, pull the gate, and then try to do what we had to do to get it done. And I'll have to find the video and show it to you in a little while, but that was probably one of the prettiest rounds, or like half of a round I've ever made, just because it was pure, just seeing it on video, react, done. And it was a grown 4-year-old bull that he had at the house, big black stout bull, big horns, and I was he was pretty much just bluffed up right there looking at me, and Ben and Matt were talking to me earlier and was telling me I would have to push him, like he wouldn't just come to me like a Mexican or anything. I would have to push him and pop his bubble and, drive to the hip and everything. And at the time, I hadn't stepped around a dummy. I hadn't been around anything besides that little steer. So I knew, and I just said the hell with it and kind of walked up to him and threw my hands up and blew at him, and he came. I made a round with him, and after that, it was set in stone. I think I got on one bull after that just to finish out when I was in the senior bulls and won that buckle. I think I got on one more since then. I've obviously been on a few jump kickers for the heck of it in the practice pen, but other than that, just straight up fighting bulls. Yeah, I've never been to any type of bullfighting clinic or camp or anything. Just I'm extremely blessed. Like I was telling you earlier, to have the opportunity to start out where I did with the name that Matt had and the knowledge that came from him. And he used to always joke around about like there's knowledge in that dirt.
Yeah.
And I have ate plenty of that dirt at his house.
Yeah.
And then to have Ben right there as my mentor, and I could, as I came through, I think I was fighting bulls for maybe about 8 or 9 months before I got called up to work my first PRCA rodeo with the Bar W.
How'd you get that deal?
So actually,
this is going to lead into something else we're going to talk about. But.
So actually, they needed somebody, and Brett was calling around. Well, Lloyd called Ben, and Ben was already bucked, and he's like, "Hey, there's this young kid," and I think I just turned 16, or I don't even think I was 16 yet. I'm pretty sure I drove up there through Atlanta with my learner's license and stayed at my uncle's house because couldn't book a hotel or anything. And so I was pretty young. I think I might have been 16 actually. But yeah, I called him and he was like, "Got this kid. He's really green, but he's got the try. He's got the gist of fighting bulls. Like he won't cause any wrecks out there. He will take a shot." And so I was extremely blessed to have that opportunity, and I made the most of it for sure.
And that's what I kind of wanted to ask that, because it leads into what's so important in this sport. Is I've played a lot of, obviously I played baseball as about as high as I can go without being professional for 24 years. I played baseball all my life, and that sport has a lot of word of mouth. Football has a lot of word of mouth. A lot of other sports have a lot of word of mouth, but rodeo has so much word of mouth.
It is pretty much purely based off of it.
Purely based off it. So when you say I have some big things and good opportunities, great. I would never have them without Jeremy Cohen.
100%.
Shane
100%. It's the people
John
that got
Roberts.
you there.
You know what I mean? Like the people that help you are your buddies. And that's what's cool about this sport too, is like I haven't, you are who you surround yourself with. So I try to surround myself with people that aren't jealous and are gonna build me up, and I
100%.
Turn that around. So it's like, the opportunities are great, but I'll never be where I am without those guys. So I want to just make sure I'm thanking, Jeremy, and I've texted him multiple times, but Shane Esco, Jeremy Cohen, John Roberts, Judd Napier, all them guys that have helped me. Weston, getting me in the BFO, it's just really, really cool to have that atmosphere and camaraderie in this sport, because you usually don't see that with other sports. Everybody's out to get everybody, and this sport just seems to be the opposite. I haven't met somebody that doesn't want to help. So it's just
I think
really,
there
really
are
cool.
those few guys, not necessarily the guys that have been there and done that. I think those are the guys that want to help the young guys come up the most, because they know how it felt to go through the ringer and everything, and maybe they didn't get the best start or start out with the best opportunities, and so the more they can help younger guys. And like Ben West, actually, obviously probably my mentor, the one I look up to the most. Obviously Matt at the practice pen, but Ben's, I've got to work it with him at a few of Robin's deals, so just somebody I can really relate to that's fighting bulls currently and everything, that I look up to a lot. He actually got the call to work the PRCA circuit finals. You already know this, but
finally.
Yeah, he deserves it 100%.
He was alternate last year, I believe. So
but he was one of them. He deserves it by every means, but he always kind of messes with me. But he is extremely humble and everything, and he didn't want it to get out. But there was a few contractors that knew, and Mr. Robin Brooks actually told me and Michael that Saturday after the perf when we were all standing around, or it was me, Michael, and Robin, but he told us that Ben had actually got the call to work it, and then like immediately it was one of them where it just put a huge smile on my face to see one of my my mentor, but really a close friend, get a call to do something like that, because one day I hope that I get the call for that, and I know how much it would mean to me. So I know he was trying to keep it small and really soak it in, but I gave him a good long little paragraph text, and he called me after that because we were both driving home from the rodeo that weekend, and I think he was up somewhere in Tennessee, but me and him probably talked on the phone for, 30, 45 minutes, just about everything. And he said the same thing, that he wanted to call and thank everybody that's helped him along the way before he really just started posting it about it. And I think that's a great way to look at it. You know, it's when you get the opportunity to do something great like that and be on the big stage, that you go and thank those people that put you where you are, because without them you wouldn't be there. And it is exactly like you were talking about, just word of mouth. It's somebody putting their word on the line. Like, this is something, it still cracks me up to this day when Ben texted me about it, asking if I wanted to go to that first rodeo. I was like, oh yeah, 100%. And then he told me, he was like, look, I'm putting my word on the line. He was like, you better go out there and fight bulls. He's like, I don't care if you die out there, but he's like, you better not mess up. So, you know, he was obviously just messing with me. He knew I could handle my own, maybe, maybe not. But it was my first, you know, Brett had one or two in that pen that would try you a little bit, and I handled my own pretty well. Obviously, Brett hired me for a few more that year, and then sent me a full schedule last year, and then here we are this year. So it's really been,
just bounces off.
I would say, going back to
see you Bang. Not sponsored by Bang Energy anymore.
No. But going back to that, how long I've been fighting, it's really been 3 years.
3 years.
So
you're like 1 year under me.
Lloyd was talking about me being green and upcoming, and I just kind of laughed about it when we were going through the VIP tour last night. I just kind of laughed about it because I feel like I've kind of proven myself, but at the same point, I've proven myself here. There are 10 more steps along the way that I have to step my game up and really continue to perfect my craft and everything to step my game up there. But just talking about, it just cracked me up. But at the same time, I think I've proven myself. But like I was saying, at the same time, it's like I'm still nobody. Like, if you would ask somebody, you know, higher up, wouldn't even know my name. So humble, but you got to have a little bit of pride in yourself at the same time, I think. So
well, that was to mention, you were just mentioning about just, you know, you've had good opportunities, but you're still not stopping learning. You know, I was texting Webb one day and we were talking about his shoulder. He just popped it out 4 times that night, and I was just texting him about that and all that stuff, and we got into talking about bullfighting, obviously, and he was telling me how I've been doing, and I texted him back, whatever, and he was like, if you ever stop learning, that's when you need to hang him up, you know. So, or if he said, if you ever stop learning, you text me, you know, because he's not, like, to hear somebody that you know, he's at the biggest stage, you know. He's at the very, very top you can go, and he's still learning.
He's worked
very humble.
Super Bowl of rodeo.
Yeah, it's just very humble to hear that, and that's another thing about it, about rodeos. Like, the guys at the very top still are humble enough to realize that it's not them, it's God, and they're just never stopping learning. And they're
that's why they're
not
at the
too
top.
good enough. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why they're at the top.
So it's just really cool to hear.
And I think it's also like, I guess you relate that to something like, I think we had a short conversation about it yesterday, but something, you know, you look at like the IPRA or, you know, below that, I'll say, in the scheme of things, like the NCPRA, it's like me and Luke are both in the NCPRA fighting those rodeos, but you're on the other side, completely different bull riders. Y'all might have a few more over there where the vote and everything for the finals. It's like, but we know over here, if 2 guys from over there get voted to fight the finals, it's like, you know, they're good bullfighters, and you have respect for that. I don't think you can ever be mad that somebody gets voted over you, I guess. Like you try your best to make the finals, and by no means do I expect I'm gonna get that call just because
It's a goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a goal, and I am still green in the scheme of things. Like all the bull riders around here know my name and everything, and I go up talk to them. But when you see other people get that call, but I guess you were saying stay humble and know it's God's timing and everything. If somebody got voted over you, even if you are at the top level, they deserved it. From a rider point of view, they voted for that guy, or there was a few more that voted for that guy, so they 100% deserved to be where they're at. So
yeah, exactly. What are some of the struggles that you've seen so far in your career? This could be non-rodeo related, but we could probably try to keep it that way. But
honestly, just putting it out there, I've been extremely blessed. I think earlier this year and towards the end of last year was really the biggest thing I had. I'll say I think I struggle in the off season a little bit because I crave it so much, and not this past winter time, but the winter time before that, I kind of took it for granted, and I wasn't doing my drills. I wasn't doing any dummy work. I was really just working out at the gym and sitting on the couch watching Netflix and everything. I was still in high school then, but it's kind of just hanging out. And I went back to the practice pen after not being around anything for about 6-8 weeks, and it showed. I couldn't make a round with anything to save my life. I got hooked a few times, and it was finally one of them realizations, like I really need to take this serious. I can't just take it for granted and say that it's all just natural talent, and you still have to put the work in. And so towards the end of last year, I started having a little issue with my knees and everything, and I was rehabbing it, but I wasn't really taking it 100% serious, I guess you would say. And it was an eye-opener for me, like I was talking about earlier, when I came back this year and thought it was a fresh start. It was just right back there, one of the things where it could be snatched out from under you like that. Just because I struggle a lot with putting my rodeo as my number one. And
consistency.
And not looking at God's always number one, I'm second. I love that saying that's been going around TikTok a lot the past few months and everything, I'm second. But just looking at it as it's all God's timing. And, I think it's an eye-opener for me. I looked at it in high school like that too. I tore my elbow up pretty good, and that kind of sealed my career in high school. And my banners are still hanging up in the high school gym, because I was set to go to state that senior year, and because our wrestling team was so new, we got it my freshman year, and I was the only guy at the time to have made it twice, and so I'm still holding that right now. I think there's another guy under me that made it twice, his junior and senior year as well. But when I tore my UCL, it was one of them things where I looked at it as I was putting wrestling over God, and my faith. So it was an eye-opener. As like when I tore it, I was absolutely devastated, and after a few hours of moping around and feeling sorry for myself and why did this happen to me, I had all that. I had a few college offers and everything, and so that was my only plan, and wrestling was my number one focus, and I was kind of veering off, I wouldn't really say the wrong path, but away from God and trying to do things on my own. And I was obviously putting all the work in that I could, going and wrestling for 4 or 5 hours worth of practice every single day, even on the weekends and everything, and rodeoing in between. But I would say that's my main struggle. And then once I came around to the fact that, it's God's timing, I think He took that away from me as a thing where it's like, look, I'm the reason you're here. I'm the reason you have this talent. I'm the one who built you that way and gave you that athletic ability. So when that career for me kind of ended, it was a really just eye-opener. Just sit back and humbled myself God humbled me.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was running the show and doing all the work and putting it on my own, and obviously with the help of my coaches and everything and my parents. But so when this came around this off season, I was kind of going down that same path towards the end of last year. I was really, I guess, taking my rodeos for granted because I was so young. And I was looking at it like I had all the future in the world because I'm this young and I'm working, I had a full schedule. I think I had it was either 33 or 34 rodeos last year. So let's just say 70 performances.
Yeah.
And everybody was telling me, how bright of a future I had. And I was kind of taking that all upon me and saying that was my hard work and everything. And
yeah, it's tough sometimes. It's like, when you constantly hear that,
100%, yeah,
all that stuff coming to you, it's hard to compartmentalize that and push that to the side and realize, okay, thank you, but I promise
this is why I'm here. Yeah, it's all his work.
So it's that's
but that's what I struggle with.
Good example. Yeah,
just an eye opener. So every perf this year, it's an eye opener for me, and I like to have a good little prayer before every perf. That it's just an eye-opener for me that I'm blessed, extremely blessed to be here. And I look at it as there are countless people that sit in these stands every single night that we rodeo that would give anything in the world to have the upcoming that we did, or even to have the athletic ability to even just be in the arena, maybe working out gate, or just to be a part of rodeo somehow. And it's the most humbling thing to me. Like, it was in Shady Dale last year. Robin told us to go sign autographs and stuff, and I'm 18 years old, just turned 18. Well, I think I might have been 17, but it's like I'm 17 years old, signing people's autographs, people that are older than me, younger than me, kids looking up to me, and it's like I'm not the one you should be admiring. So it's just extremely eye-opening every single time I step into the arena. I'm extremely blessed, and as hard as it is to say this, I'll say this. I've been trying to say this a lot recently, and it's like, if this was my last rodeo, I would still have an extremely blessed career. And everything that we do, they just cranked up a generator over there, so we might have to talk a little louder. But just extremely blessed, and I feel like I've been a lot more humble this year. I try to soak up every single perf that I work, and every single time that latch cracks.
It could be your last.
Be there 100%.
Good.
Yeah.
Really good. If you're doing it for the right reasons, it definitely could be your last. So it's, I know you had a couple more questions.
Let's get that funny story out the way. So
last night would be the funniest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. We went to Waffle House after taking a shower after the perf. We were really sweating and decided to go take a shower beforehand. Went to Waffle House after, and
better turn that sound cancellation on.
I don't know how to do that.
Supposed to just click the power button. It'll be all right. We'll just talk a little louder.
Yeah, but we were in Waffle House last night, and the workers were arguing, and pretty hefty. They were cussing each other up and everything, and
as soon as we walked in the door.
As soon as we walked in the door, we sat down and didn't even get our drinks yet, and they were cussing up each other and talking about probation. So that's my funniest experience.
That was a good one.
Other than that, it'd probably be pork chop, just being pork chop. Pork chop's a midget, and he does some pretty cool stuff. But
no, 100%. Y'all should still be able to hear me. But I'd say mine, and we brought it up. Yes, sir. We're borrowing your cart.
Oh, that's okay.
So I figured I'd come help you out at least.
That's all right.
But
I guess we'll edit this out.
Okay. But
he edits this out.
Yes, sir. Little podcast.
I'll wait for you guys to get done.
I appreciate it.
Oh, you're good.
But
We'll edit
I'd
that
say, I'd say mine, which I just remembered it last night. Actually, we were talking about it. So when I got smoked down and my leg got stepped on, well, first of all, I thought I broke it. I went to step on it that first time I stood up, and it wasn't good. And I went and sat out. Like, there was absolutely no way I was going to finish it. And so I can't remember who I was working with. I think we only had like 1 or 2 more bulls, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. And I think they were just, regular jump, nothing to them. They weren't mean or anything.
Yeah.
So if I would have known there would have been a 1 in that pen, I think I would have tried to stay out there just to be another body. But it would have pretty much just be standing there getting smoked again. But
yeah.
And so after that, I think the next weekend where I was supposed to go somewhere was up to Hayesville, North Carolina at Brett's house. I think he was doing bulls, broncs, and barrels up there, and just a 1-day deal. And I was already supposed to go up there, and where I go to school at, it was about 30, 45 minutes from that. Well, 100% 45 minutes, but I was like, well, I'll probably just come hang out anyways because you're so close and I don't have nothing else going on a Saturday, so I'll just come hang out. And he's like, well, if you can, just crack latches or work the outgate or something. And I did that for the first section, and then Craig Miller was clowning it and he wasn't in his barrel, and I was like, Craig, you mind if I pack the barrel? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. And so I was doing that. And Leland might remember this, but I was standing up on top of the barrel, and Craig was talking about like karate or something, and he just absolutely runs and both feet into the back of the barrel, and I'm standing up on top of the barrel tall ways, and I land flat on my head. And I mean, I wouldn't really say I took it the wrong way because I was laughing at it.
I would have taken it the wrong way.
I turned around at the last second, but I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying at all. And he helped me up and everything and said he didn't mean to, he was trying to fake it or just barely rock it a little bit while I was up there, but I landed flat on my head. Crowd loved it.
Yeah, it was a good sell.
It was, but Craig Miller, when I was standing on the barrel, and
I think Craig worked the NCPRE finals when I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good guy, and he swore up and down that he didn't mean to, he just meant to rock it a little bit, but it sent the barrel rolling and everything, and my legs are already, I'm limping around as is, and then I land on top of my head.
Yeah.
But I remembered, I remembered that one last night, and that one had me cracking up for a good little minute.
Yeah.
Shoot. No, I guess get ready for night number 2 here in, where are we at? Watkinsville, Georgia.
Right outside of Madison.
Yep. Nice little covered arena. It's a little small for the arena, but got 2 buck and shoots, and
keeps the bulls honest.
Yeah, it's been cool. Everything that's going to come is already in our faces, so don't have to go to them or.
Yeah. I don't think you understand.
Well, I'll make sure the microphones are going. Oh yeah. So they still got that generator running over there, but we got our newfound sponsor, Wild Willie's Custom Accessories. Little battery change, GoPro died, so it might have cut off right there at the end. I'll know when I edit it. But we're about to get into, so you said 77 for the prediction?
No, 87.
87, yeah.
That was last night.
There we go.
I think we got that last night.
Was it 78 or 88 that won it in the short round?
Yeah, so I was close. Tonight, I'm going to say 88 again. 89 most. I'm not going to say 90.
Well, that 855 bull is in the short round. That little Motley face bull, he won't be that high with that 855 bull if you have somebody get on him. Mm-hmm. Like if Justin on that white bull was rank.
Yeah.
But I will say, if that other one, or 855, just has a little more spunk to him, a little more speed.
Yeah.
If somebody like that makes that same ride on him.
Yeah. Well, Dega.
It's going to be up there.
Pretty sure Cole Abbey's Dega is going out tonight in the short round. He was in the long round yesterday, but I'm pretty sure they were putting him in the short, huh? He is long round? Okay. Okay. Well, if they had him in the short, I could see that being a high march ride too, just because he just blows out of there straight up and down.
I think
he's everywhere, but he doesn't really turn back
ranked.
much.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
But
88, I'm going with 88. Nothing higher.
I'll say.
I hope. But we're talking about predictions here.
Oh yeah, I don't know who rode him at the IFR last year, but somebody rode that 855 bull, and he was 88 at the IFR.
I see it.
And just riding him. I think he spurred on him twice right there at the end. It might have been 88 or 86. But I've seen one guy ride that bull, working for Brett 2 years now, and they marked him 89, and he is every bit of it.
Every bit of it.
And these are, sure enough, PBR judges here, so
Yeah.
with these bulls, like that 88 last night was a sure
Every bit
enough
of it.
88. He was every
Is
bit
that
of
Brody?
it.
Brody ended up winning it, right?
Brody Robinson. So
And it's
I'm
cool.
gonna go.
Like we were talking about seeing, you see a lot of different guys than I do.
Yeah.
Because we're obviously it's Southeast, but they're
Mhm.
different. I've never met Brody until this weekend, and he's big in the IPRA.
Yeah.
He was a rookie last year, I believe, and
Won the rookie,
getting to
won
see-
the world.
Yeah. So it's like getting to see him. With me being a Mississippian, fighting all those Alabama rodeos, y'all seeing him in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee.
It's about to be. I think he got drafted.
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to see guys that I haven't been able to see yet. So a lot of the guys that I do know here, but some of the guys that I do not.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're all just straight up hands. So it's been a really, really cool experience. I'm
I'll
excited.
say this too. I'm gonna go back. Like I said, he went 6 for 6 last weekend. He rode his bull in the long round last night, but got bucked off. He got on the bull that he rides at the bull teams for Summer and Wayne all the time, and just went to spurring on him, trying to win everything. I mean, you can't blame him for going to him.
Yep. Can't count him out either. Elijah.
But I think I'm gonna go back with my prediction for him, and I'm gonna also make a wild prediction. I know Brody's already been drafted. I think this next year coming up, the way Elijah's been riding, absolutely winning everything. I think he's sitting in the standings really high up
Pretty sure
everywhere.
he's first in IPRA,
Yeah.
isn't he? Yeah.
But I'm gonna just go ahead and put this out there. I don't know him that well, but I think next year we might be seeing him on TV.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna.
I believe it.
He's gonna be the next one to go out the Southeast and put his name out there.
Yeah, I believe it.
But as far as score, I want to pick a different number than you. What you gonna go with? 88.
88.
Mm.
It's pretty high up there, man. You can just say 90 just for the views,
You gotta manifest it into existence.
I mean, it is Saturday night. Them judges might be feeling a little good.
Yeah.
Short round.
They went to go eat with them today.
Yeah. Yeah, paid them
this
off.
morning.
$20 to everyone. I don't know. Them judges might be high priced,
Yeah, they might.
but I'm gonna go at 89. Throw it out there. 89. What you
We'll
got,
see.
Laramie?
Probably go 87.
87.
87 and a half. I'll take 87 and a half.
87 and a half. 88.
I'll take the
89.
half under.
Yeah. that's
89. We'll go with that.
fine. I'm a betting man. I'm just not a good betting man, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet today. But I am going to make a prediction. So
It's gonna
I
be
don't
up
know who
there
it's
either
going to.
way.
I don't know who's going to be. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm personally rooting for Justin Bates.
Oh, 100%.
If
See him.
Lane stays out of his head and keeps his feet down,
Yeah.
he'll ride that baby bull.
Yeah.
He's done it twice.
Yeah.
before.
He's got Dega tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got him in the long run.
Yeah.
Should be pretty spunky to watch.
Should be.
Yeah, 100%. If I'll say that every bull that's in the short round, you're 85 plus on, just getting by them. So everything is going to be up there. Like we're talking about 87 and a half, 88, 89. It's going to be up there. It's just which one of us is going to be right, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll kind of end this thing off. Some life advice. It don't matter if it's going up and down the road, people listening that just live a normal life, just something that'll keep them going.
I've got a couple. The first one is, money will come and go, but regret lasts forever. And what I mean by that is, I don't care how old you are, I don't care if you're 40 and you want to do something different and do what you love, but just make sure you're doing what you love, because money comes and goes. But that regret at the end of your life, when you're sitting down, I really feel like that regret's going to overflow a little bit of everything. So just make sure you're, not really taking the money into account for everything you do. Obviously, we need to make a living, but just making sure you do what you love, I feel like that's pretty important. And then also, it just doesn't really matter how far you get into whatever you pursue in life, whether that be rodeo, whether that be other sports, whether that be
Lloyd's
whatever other
Allison is
occupation
Lloyd's
you have.
wife.
if you're not winning with Christ, you're not winning in general. So just make sure you have a good foundation in Him. He is your identity, and that's the only thing that matters. So I encourage everybody to, reach out to me, reach out to Ian, reach out to any of our other buddies that you've seen so far, and I'd love to talk to you about it. If you haven't been saved, if you have been saved, then props to you.
Stay on that path.
Stay on
take
that
it
path.
serious.
And take faith very, very serious, because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going. So
I'll go back with my usual, well, a little bit different, but kind of the same gist, and then I'll end it with the name of the podcast. But just stay humble, continue to perfect your craft. Never stop learning. You're always blessed to be here. Mm-hmm. No matter what you're doing, where you're at in the arena, if you're just working the out gate or working the strip and shoot, you're blessed to be here in the rodeo world. And for me or Luke or Laramie, the man of the can this weekend, we're all blessed, absolutely blessed to have the opportunity to get to do something like this and pretty much live a gypsy lifestyle, and not have to, hopefully one day we'll be good enough to where we don't have to work a day job.
yeah.
If we get to that point, but
Do that when you're self-employed.
yeah. But just always remember that you're blessed to be here, and it's an opportunity. It's not given to you, and what comes around goes around. And then, like always, if you got anything going on, talk to somebody. Whether it's with mental health or, like Luke was just saying, it's like gonna go and you want to pursue faith and everything, but take the fight to whatever you're dealing with. Figure out a solution and go to them. I love the name of that. And it's always one of them things. I look at it too, and I was listening to a podcast that Dale Brisby did with somebody, and maybe it was Miles Harris, somebody that been Wrangler bullfights and won it. Them old school days, it's like he always figured that if it was one of them mean bulls that people talk about, if he just went ahead and went to them, he could catch them bulls off guard, because he was used to everybody just running from him. So for me, I just say go to them, take the fight to them and catch them off guard. And I tell guys who ride all the time to just take it to them, and sure enough, know in your mind that you're going to them, you're about to do something rank. So I like that. Yeah. I appreciate Luke hopping on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Glenn.
Maybe I'll get one with Laramie down the road.
Wait, let me talk into the microphone. And don't forget to shop Wild Willie's accessories. Yay!
Yep. There we go.
Custom accessories.
Yep. Free advertising. Yeah, free advertising. Wow. Maybe we'll get a hat or something, sticker. But yeah. Appreciate y'all for tuning in the podcast. If you've made it this far, y'all can comment on Spotify. Let me know what y'all think. Any suggestions on questions that I should start asking people, because we kind of just ramble on and have one or two set things, and we just get going from there, and whatever we think we just go ahead and bring out.
Yep.
But yeah. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have
on time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Always wake up on time to go to the gym, for sure.
Yeah.
Laramie didn't get to, but we got it. We got it in.
Hopefully a good perf tonight.
Yep. It will be. It will be.
Get some things done, fight some bulls, and have fun. Catch y'all on the next one.
Catch you.